Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing this very matte look. It's kind of a soft matte, soft glam. So the lips are matte, eyeshadow's matte. It's kind of inspired by a photo of Sydney Sweeney that I saw of her makeup. If I am able to put it on the screen, I'll put it on the screen. But without any further ado, let's get on with the video. I don't know why I'm out of breath. I've already done my eyebrows. I use the e.l.f. Ultra Precise eyebrow pencil. It's a good affordable option. What shade do I use? Is it neutral brown? Oh my goodness, why is that writing so tiny? I feel like it is a neutral brown. I think it's one of those things that the colour's only on the box. So that is incredibly helpful, but neutral brown I think. Okay, yep, sorry I've just fuffed with the lighting. And I'm just putting on some L'Oreal Skin Tint. This is the True Match Nude Plumping Serum. I'm actually almost out of this. I'll put a little pump on it because the dropper annoys me, but then that pump leaks now, so I don't know. It's not my favourite packaging in the world, like generally, but the product itself is so good. I think it's my second bottle of this, if not possibly my third. It might actually be my third bottle. I need a mirror. My mirror's like behind me, so I'm kind of like, honestly, I feel like this skin tint has the most gorgeous glow. It looks super natural, but as a little summon to the skin, which is what we want. And this is the Zoeva 102 Silk Finish brush as per. I'm not gonna lie, my brushes are quite dirty right now. I really need to wash them. I washed them fresh for a trip that I went on. I went up to York for the weekend to see some friends from uni. And I freshly washed them for that, but I just haven't washed them since I've come back, and that was a couple of weeks ago maybe, so that's not great. Concealer, we're going to put on the NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer. Again, I love this concealer, and I do just keep coming back to it. I try other things, but honestly, this lasts so well on the skin. It doesn't crease really, doesn't fall into the fine lines that much. I say that much because I feel that basically every concealer does crease. And the ones that don't crease just look really cakey under my eyes, and it's just not for me. Cakey and dry. And I'd rather it would crease a little bit than look very cakey under my eyes and dry. It's just not for me. I'm going to do the Laura Mercier powder. I would use the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder, but this is the shade medium rather than light, and it's just a little bit dark under the eyes if you're going to be using a powder puff. Honestly, drugstore makeup has just been winning for me at the moment. I feel like I'm usually such a high-end girly, but I don't know, it's just been giving. She says using an expensive powder, but here we are. And this is literally a powder puff from Aldi. I thought I'd give them a try because they're literally the exact same thing, and I feel like because there's such high demand right now, everyone's kind of raking up the prices for it. And I'm not spending loads of money on a literal powder puff. Absolutely not. Especially when this kind of stuff literally works the exact same. Going to set the notes a little bit. Just going to dust away some of that powder. Going to be using the Sephora cream bronzer. This is relatively new to my collection. Where's my mirror gone? And I do really like this actually. If you've used the Rare Beauty one before, this is, I'm not going to lie to you, basically the exact same thing. Colours slightly different. If you've got lighter, more cool toned skin, I think the Rare Beauty ones just are not comparable in terms of colour, but formula really similar. And if you're not like a light cool toned skin tone, or you just prefer like a little bit more of a warm bronzer, because I find the Rare Beauty ones a bit too cool, some of them. Which is fine, because some girlies really like cool ones, and I feel it's easier to get a warmer bronzer. My sister has one of the Rare Beauty bronzer sticks, and that is what I found. I found it was a bit too cool toned for me. I don't really contour necessarily. I think probably a good contour shade. Please ignore this spot. It's kind of like scabbed up a little bit, and it's just not giving. It was like a massive spot, and it is going away, but I don't think I'm going to put too much on it, just because I think it is just going to cake up really quickly. Your options for blush, you can use this colour, which is Stila Lilium, which is very much depleted, or you could use a little bit of Milk in Work, which is a bit warmer. I haven't worn this in a while actually, probably because I've been trying to use up this Stila one, but I think I'll put a little bit on today actually. I definitely should have warmed that up slightly before. But we ignore. I'm going to use another Real Techniques brush to blend this in. I feel like I've put on way too much. I forgot how pigmented this is actually. It does blend really easily, so I'm just gonna blend. I might tap over my brush a little bit as well. My foundation brush. Honestly, I'm such a foundation brush girly. I was a die-hard sponge girly, but then I think when you figure out how to use a foundation brush, it just keeps so much of the coverage and it's so much easier to wash. It is dreamy. Don't know whether that's blended that everywhere. Going to go in with a little tiny bit of concealer just to clean that up slightly. Literally tiny. But to be honest, it might just be redness from me tapping my skin. I'm actually doing makeup for one of my friend's weddings, so I am currently trying out some looks. I did do some on her over when I was in York. That's not my eyebrows. But I feel like you do have to just get used to someone's face and kind of what they want. So it's kind of more of like an experimentation one. Because I don't think she really knew what she wanted. I'd never done her makeup before. So we just did that. Yeah, I'm happy with that amount of blush. I forgot how nice this blush is actually. Gonna do a little bit over the eyelids of powder. I'm sorry I've been MIA recently. I've literally been going through it. I swear I'm always saying going through it, but I've been very much going through it recently. I feel like that bronzer was a little bit too much on the forehead. There we go. I don't usually wear a lot of eyeshadow, but I'm gonna put some on today. I'm gonna go in with this iconic London palette, which I got from my aunt and cousins. It is quite nice, I like it. I just prefer a matte palette, so I'm in the market for a matte palette because I do have one, but it's about 10 years old, and I don't really feel like on myself, that's fine, but then on other people I'm kind of like, let's not be using 10-year-old eyeshadow, that's really unhygienic. Because I really went through actually I really like that colour. I went through a phase at school of literally buying so much makeup that to the point that a normal person would not be able to get through. And then obviously most of it has expired before I'm able to use it all up. But here we are. Going to put that colour under my eyes as well. I do like putting a little bit of colour under my eyes. Ooh, whoops. I feel like that slipped slightly. We're just gonna... I think I might just try and brush that off, to be honest. Yes, if anyone has any recommendations for good, literally all my eyeshadow palettes, that would be much appreciated. I like a very neutral tone. This is... I don't like something to be too warm. Orange does pop with blue eyes, but I don't know, it's just not really my sort of thing. I think I might put a little bit of this marshmallow shade all over the lid. Oh, you know what? She's pigmented. Ooh. You know what? These eyeshadows are actually quite nice. I love a matte eye. I like a little bit of shimmer sometimes, but honestly, matte eyes are my thing. I don't know why that's caked up slightly on the eyelid, but I guess we shall blend it. Why has that caked up? It's probably dry, to be honest. I'm just going to ignore how dry my eyelids are right now. You know what, I've definitely gotten carried away packing that on. I put in my inner corner as well. That's actually really pretty. You know what, we're going to use a good old Urban Decay. And I'm going to use an Urban Decay brush. And just put a little bit more in the crease. This is kind of... I looked at some photos yesterday of makeup looks that I liked. I don't know. And I came across Sydney Sweeney makeup and it literally was this sort of thing. And I just thought it looked so glam. Honestly, I love doing my makeup so much. And I love doing like a proper look. But I feel I just don't really have that much time anymore. Because at uni, I would literally have to leave so quickly to go for like nights out and stuff that I would do kind of whatever's easiest. So I didn't really experiment too much because I kind of knew how long everything was going to take me to do. But you know what, I'm back in my kind of experimentation era. I like a little bit there. So we can see the look. And I personally like a little bit on the lid. Well, not the lid, on like the lash line. So I feel like that just adds a little bit of definition that you wouldn't otherwise have. And I'm just going to blend that all together because I feel like it's very stark. I've got nothing extra left on my brush. I feel like when you're doing your makeup, top tip is always have a clean makeup brush on hand that's not touched anything to literally just blend everything. So I feel in order to get that blend the way that you want it, do that. I was using that shade there to deepen the crease, and I'm just going to pop a tiny little bit of that underneath the eye just to balance it out. Because I feel like that balances it out really well. And I feel like this is a super cute look actually. I don't know why it's kind of, you probably can't see, but it's caked up on my lid slightly. I'm really not too sure where it's done that. But you know what, let's move on. So yes, good matte palette. I've been looking at the e.l.f. one or maybe the Kylie one, but I've never used any makeup from Kylie. And I have no clue whether Kylie makeup actually is good or not. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's one of those things that everyone loves to say is really good, but I'm kind of like, but is it though? Like, is it good? Or is it just Kylie's brand? Are you just being paid to say that? Like, I don't know. I love a dewy skin, but I feel I love making it matte and then having a little bit of glow like underneath it, if you know what I mean. I feel like it's always better to kind of over powder and then bring in the moisture later, unless you've got super dry skin, in which case maybe not. I feel like we've lost a little bit of colour there, so I'm just going to go in with a bit more bronzer. This is the Butter Bronzer in the shade Sunkissed Bronzer, Physicians Formula. Honestly, I've used so many bronzers and I truly think that this is my favourite formula. I like a bit more of a powdery formula. I don't want it to be too I don't want it to hard pan, if you know what I mean. Like if you, because I tend to not set every part of my face. I hate it when it kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but when like you go into something with like wet brush or like a damp brush and it kind of just looks really funky and you're like, no. And you have to like scratch off the top layer. It's a no from me. I might do a bit of blush on top, but this is my only powder blush that I have to go on top. It is NARS Orgasm. It's literally my favourite powder blush. And it's not matte, and I'm kind of feeling a bit more of a matte look right now to kind of go with the eyes. Gonna do a little bit of clear mascara in the brows. Set them in place. This is just the collection one. Super cheap. See what I mean? Like, I really am in my drugstore era. To be fair, I've loved this bronzer for ages. I love Benefit Hoola. Like, I love the colour, but I feel like that hard pans really easily for me. So it's just not really a vibe. And I like Laguna as well. I think my favourite, if it'll open, favourite mascara at the moment is the YSL Lash Clash. But I've literally just got this little sample and I'm kind of loving going with the more affordable makeup theme. So we're going to do eyelashes. I'm going to use the Maybeline Lash Sensational. Such a good mascara. Such a good mascara. I've been using Maybelline mascaras for the absolute longest time. And honestly, I feel like they're the best ones on the market from like the drugstore. Mascara has been out for years. It's now called the Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect. I don't remember it being called the Full Fan Effect when it first came out, when I was in school. But I guess it's gone through a rebrand. But it's still so good. Honestly, just as good as ever. And do you see the difference? I feel like that's a little bit clumpy, but it's kind of old. And I feel like mascara dries out so quickly. I am going to put a little teeny bit on my lower lashes, but just a tiny bit because my lower lashes love to go everywhere. I love tinting my eyelashes because then I can kind of just leave them as is, because they already are quite dark. I feel like if you want your makeup to last, you need to be using like a powder product to set the cream products that you use. But I'm not always looking for that high wearing, long wearing. Like, do you see that difference? Like it just opens up the eyes so much. It's just kiss. I'm gonna go in with Nude Beige from NYX. I have heard that they have changed the colour of this, which is super sad. I already had a hyperfixation on this lip liner a few years ago. So I literally have reserves. I really should have put that setting spray on fast before the eyelashes, because I'm now fearful for them, but The show must go on. And I'm thinking maybe a matte for the lips, just to kind of tie in the whole look. I think this lipstick is just going to be perfect for this look. This is the legendary, iconic MAC Velvet Teddy. I love MAC. Especially the mattes. I'm not a matte lipstick fan, but if I had to choose a matte, it's either going to be MAC or it's going to be Charlotte Tilbury. Honestly, MAC is just, she's that girl. So this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.